I feel like sometimes just part of living life is thinking to yourself, what can I do to make my experience more enjoyable? Because a lot of the times we think of things in our mind that aren't enjoyable for us and that don't make us feel happy. And these things are kind of inevitable. Like, of course, we're going to think about things that we don't like, but I feel like it's so powerful in a way to create just a mind that you enjoy living in. It's so amazing to just enjoy the thoughts that come to your brain and to not judge the negative thoughts that may appear sometimes, because I feel like that's the thing, like we have a lot of negative thoughts that we always like agree with these thoughts, and it makes living really painful sometimes, like when you're tormented with all these negative thoughts about yourself. I feel like that's not a way to live. So I really just like the idea of creating just like a home in your mind that feels so comfortable that you find peace in just being in your mind. And I get a lot of this inspiration from a channel called Edward Art. He's just talking about Neville Goddard concepts. And I feel like it's so simple, but it's so true, because who's telling us these things about ourselves that make us feel unworthy, that make us feel ugly, that make us feel dumb? Only ourselves, and maybe other people are affirming these things, but why do you let these things affect you? I feel like you can see something outside of you, but I feel like it's kind of amazing to be able to kind of revise those things. And it's kind of delusional in a way saying it, but if something bad were to happen to you, like say someone pointed out an insecurity of yours, instead of like spiraling and thinking about that and just being like, see, yeah, I was right, I'm ugly, blah blah blah. I feel like in a way you can kind of just go back into your mind and pretend they said a compliment to you. Like, it sounds so delusional, but just pretend that they said something about you that was a compliment, and watch how your mind changes. It's hard at first because I feel like it makes you kind of delusional and you're like, obviously this didn't happen to me. But when you lose yourself in that scene, you create just it's kind of just like what visualization is. When you lose yourself in that world of your mind, and the visualizations are just a tool to feeling what you want to feel, because I feel like that's the true freedom, is feeling what you want to feel, being the person you want to be. You want to be a confident person, for example. You don't look in your mind and see yourself being insecure and seeing yourself being shy and timid, because then you're going to feel timid. You want to create scenes in your mind that show that you're confident, even if you might not be. And it really creates this feeling of just feeling more powerful and confident, because you created this scene in your mind that just affirms that. And I feel like at first it's gonna feel stupid. It's gonna feel like not real, and you're gonna always think, well, this is not actually how my life is. So why am I thinking like this? And with this concept, it's kind of like manifestation. Well, it is manifestation. It's what manifestation was really meant to be, because I feel like there's a reason why people don't manifest the things that they want, is because of the attachment they have to the outcome, you know? In manifestation, we're always looking for the outcome so that we can feel that positive energy towards what we wanted. But with this, it's truly not even about trying to get something. It's about just trying to be in the state, because it's because we don't really want that thing. We want how we're going to feel when we get that thing. And I want you to just let go of a physical object or a certain thing that you want because you think it'll make you feel happy. Just forget that even existed. And I know it could seem hard because you're like, Obviously, that thing will make you happy, and it's true. That thing might make you happy, but it's really about your mind, you know? Nothing can make you happy. It's what your mind is doing. So, I think it's about forgetting about the physical, forgetting about this physical reality and going back to yourself and just pretending like you have it in your mind. Pretend you have that thing in your mind, and don't do it because you want to get that thing outside of you, but just do it because you want to feel the feeling of being happy. Like, if that thing feels like it'll make you happy, then just have it in your mind and create a scene that you have this thing and feel the feeling of being happy. And then when you come back to your reality, you're done visualizing and thinking about that, don't be like, oh, I don't have it, so now I have to be sad again, or now I have to be again, you know? Don't do that because, you know, obviously you're not trying to physically get that thing. If it comes, that is a result of you just feeling happy from having that thing in your mind. But the whole point of it is to just feel better, you know? It feels good to feel good. So why are we going to just taint that by looking back at our life and being like, "Oh, I don't have this thing," because that defeats like the whole entire purpose of it. So create your world in your mind and tweak everything. Tweak every little thing that you want to be a certain way and make it that way in your mind, because who is telling you that it can't be that way? Your reality, your physical reality is telling you that it can't be that way. I think that it truly like sets you free in a way, because you're not limited to this physical world, but you're just making things possible in your mind and feeling it. You're feeling it. And it feels really like fun in a way, thinking that you can do whatever you want in your mind, thinking that anything is possible and you're allowed for it to feel real. And I think that's where it becomes really powerful, is when you lose yourself in these imaginations and you're really like feeling it. But I just want to emphasize it's really important to not get discouraged when you come back and you are in your real life, to not be so negative about your real life. This is what the channel Edward Art was saying. He was saying how, in a way, your imagination is your real life, because your physical reality is just a reflection of your imagination. So you should think of your imagination as your real life in a way, like the inner man, the inner person that you are is your real person. And I feel like it's kind of cool because then things feel more expansive, like things feel less limited to this, to what we know our life to be, you know? And I feel it's easier to be happy because I feel like that's just what manifestation is. It's just not being confined to this physical, you know? Like think more things are possible in your mind. You know, and I'm thinking also of the example of Neville Goddard. I forget exactly what it was, but he was in the military. I think he was in the military and he wanted to be at home with his family, and he didn't want to be in the military anymore. And he, every night when he would go to sleep, he would pretend that he was at sleep at home. And he didn't think of this way because he thought that him thinking that way would create, like, he didn't think that way because he thought that thinking like that would get him there somehow, but he just thought that way because he just wanted to feel the feelings of being at home again. And it felt good. Like, that's the whole premise, is just so you can feel good again, you know? So he would go to sleep every night thinking that he was sleeping at home, and it felt good for him. And then I forget exactly how, but he ended up having an opportunity to be let go from the military, like, honorably. I don't know. You should look it up, but I kind of forgot all the details. But all I know is that him thinking that way every night actually allowed him to physically be there. And that whole concept seems good, but the real premise is just feeling it, being it, you know, embodying it. So yeah, having the outcome is amazing, but I think that that should be in effect and we shouldn't put our whole. So my microphone died when I had like 4 minutes left of speaking, but what I was saying was that we shouldn't put our whole emphasis on getting something, but just feeling the happiness of going to sleep every night just thinking that you are the way that you want to be, you know? Thinking that people see you in the way that you want to be seen. Thinking that you are getting these experiences that you want to have. It's a different type of like feeling, instead of feeling like the pressure of trying to get it outside of you, because when you're constantly trying to get it outside of you, I feel like there's a hindrance, or like there's a block in a way, because you're really like, it's like kind of like, yeah, people tell you don't look at your physical reality, but I feel like in a way we kind of just do that. We're like low key kind of just like, is it manifested? Is it manifested? Like, is this a sign because I'm gonna get this? Is it like, it's kind of like really, I feel like we're just like trapped in this, I'm trying to get it, like, is it gonna come? And people say detachment, and I think that's true. Detachment is just forgetting about the outcome completely. Like, I feel like when I'm speaking about this right now, I'm not saying it in the way of trying to get something at all. Like, I wasn't even trying to talk about manifestation, but this truly is what manifestation is just being in the state of the wish fulfilled and feeling the feelings that come with what you want. And I feel like this is just, it really just is a fun thing, you know? Like, to play with your reality in a way, like have fun with it and create the life that you want to live. Like, it should be fun. Like, it should be a fun thing, and we shouldn't have this serious mentality of trying to get an outcome or doing these methods to try to get something, or I'm not seeing it, let me switch my methods. Like, that's very, I feel like, dragging in a way, because you're constantly putting this pressure on your outside reality when you should just truly let that go and feel the fun it is to just feel like you already have what you want to have, and you're already the person that you want to be, because you're creating these scenes in your mind. And I know not everybody's good at visualization. Like, sometimes I struggle with this, but I feel like it's not about how perfect you create these scenes to be, but just the real feeling that it gives you, you know? And you could also hear people telling you that you are the way that you want to be. Like, say if you're trying to learn a skill or something and you're bad at it right now in your real life, you can try to be like, hear people telling you, wow, Jada's really good at painting, you know, she's really good at painting. And you'll start to feel good, or you'll start to embody the feeling of, yeah, I am good at painting because people are telling me this in your mind. But it just creates that feeling that, yeah, I am good at painting. And then that's how things start to manifest, or that's how you just start to embody that state, you know? And I just think it's really just a fun thing, you know? It's just cool to think that anything is possible in our minds, and it's just like a freeing feeling. I don't know. I think it's really cool to think this way. And it's also a practice, you know? You have to remember not to allow your life to affect you so much. And, you know, you can even revise things. Like, say if something happened outside of you, pretend that it happened a different way. Like, look back at it in your mind and tweak these things and pretend that the feeling you got out of it was a good feeling instead of a negative feeling, you know? It's really delusional and it seems crazy, but I feel like it's fun in a way. It's fun to feel good. Like, everybody wants to feel good about themselves and their life. But yeah, I just really like this whole concept, and it really just shows us to have fun with our life and to allow us to feel things that we actually want to feel, and not be so down all the time, you know? And also to not be such a victim to what is outside of us, because we can easily just go back into ourselves and feel positive and feel like things are working in our favor. But yeah, that was this whole video. and I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.